What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm telling you, it's been so long since I said that I almost forgot how to say it. But anyway, let's get into the topic of discussion today, guys. We've got Fox bodies of all shapes and sizes out here, as you're well aware. And as I always say, guys, I do read your messages, I do read your emails. I just a lot of times don't have the time to respond, but I do take them into consideration as far as making content that's, give you guys a little, value, and, maybe a topic that you could use some help with, or maybe you just want to look at a different perspective. So that's what we're going to do today. Hope you're ready, because this one's going to be a little bit painful. All right, boys. So what I get a lot of is people getting fired up. They watch my channel, or they watch Brutal's channel, or any number of channels. There's a lot out there as far as Mustang, any kind of car, really, guys, any car. This is applicable to any project car or project car channel. They'll watch the video and they get fired up and they want to do it too. They're like, man, that looks like a lot of fun. It looks somewhat easy. It looks, it looks like something I want to get into. I want to build a project car. I'm bored with a new car. Anybody can go buy a new car and bolt a cold air intake and put a tuner on it and wheels and everything else. Anybody can do that. But I want to do something more. I want to do a project car. And so I figured it was kind of my duty to shed a little light on what is really involved with a project car. And a lot of you guys, I know you watch the channel, you don't really need this video. You'll probably be entertained by it, but I mean, you already know this stuff. But if you've never really dove head first into a project car, let me go ahead and tell you, you may not like it. All right, guys. So again, I've got three specimens here, just for example. This one's in getting the transmission and stuff. This, of course, is Pop's car, and this, of course, is Project 4 to 8. Guys, these are really good representations of what is out there as far as what's available for sale. For somewhat, fairly affordable price, that would be considered an air fingers quote project car. Okay, they're pretty much there, but they need a lot. That's what I would kind of consider a project car. Now, you can go a lot farther and get a roller or something like that, and you can go deeper in, but I would say safely these represent project cars. Now, there's different levels of project car. 4 to 8 came to us as basically a shell, and we're rebuilding it from the ground up. This is going to take you a long time to do, a year or better minimum, and that's if you've got all the parts here. Something like this is going to take a long time. Now, Pop's car was kind of at this point, a mild bring back. We fixed some stuff. We did some, some here's and there, sorted the brakes, sorted suspension, stuff like that. Got the engine running right. And, stuff like this you can do fairly quick, just depending on the car and the budget. We had to put a transmission in it. It needed a lot. You've seen this on the channel. And then a car like this, as you can see, it wasn't cared for. It wasn't loved. And it needs a lot, whether it's, the paint and body work, whether it's interior work, it needs quite a bit. So, what is appealing about doing a project like this? Okay, guys, and so on the other end of that spectrum, you've got folks that see the cars like we just looked outside, and they want to do something like this, and or any one of these. There's so many different levels of builds. Like these, compared to like Pop's car or Project 4 to 8, this is a whole nother level. Like, this car is literally gutted, and it's getting everything, like everything brand new. Not only does it have to be 150% put back together, but everything in it is getting replaced. Engine, transmission, rear end, all of the suspension, all of the interior, all the wiring, all the weather strip. I mean, this is the higher end. I mean, you can actually go higher. Like, if you go to Detroit Speed and look at the stuff they build, you can actually go a lot higher. I mean, look at Boomer's car here. I mean, this is where we're at right now. I mean, we're just kind of getting rolling with this one. And then Jennings' car is kind of nearing the end. It's almost there. It actually runs. It has you know, brake line, suspension. It's almost there. Still lacks a lot. And guys, this car has been apart, I don't know, 2-3 years, maybe longer. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's been here over a year and a half. And, you know, that's what it takes to build a project car. So let's come back down to earth a little bit and, you know, look at something like this LX, guys. Again, this is representative of what is out there on Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of cars like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, Pops was rough. This one is next level rough. I mean, there's so little that's actually left. And, you know, we had to do quite a bit of work on the wiring on Pop's car, but you look down here, I mean, there's a lot has happened here. And you're gonna have to fix all of that. You know, it's easy to look at this and say, oh, I just grab some seats and I need a console, and then, you know, we're good to go. But you have to be quite a bit more realistic about what you've actually got here. I mean, it's you know, cars like this, you're still gonna pay, you know, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500, depending on, you know, how it runs. But you know, you're gonna have to be prepared for this car to be gutted and basically everything replaced. A lot of rewiring done. You know, there's a lot of parts that are missing, a lot of things that are broken, and probably a lot of this, unless you're really into you know, totally tearing something apart, unless you're majorly mechanical, this thing's going to be out of your league. It's just not going to be, you're not going to have fun with it. You're going to get it all excited, and then you're going to end up very frustrated and probably turn around and sell it and possibly lose money. All right, boys, so let's talk a little bit about Pop's car. As you've seen on the channel, we have been neck deep in the interior of this car, and it's not bad. It really, this is a very presentable interior. But here, let's go down to reality again here, guys. Still missing some trim, got that on order. Still don't have a radio in it. Gonna need to dye the console, need to fix the ashtray door. Got some plugs, you know, missing here and there. Still needs door panels, even though these are somewhat okay. Still needs a lot, guys, and we've put massive amounts of effort and pretty fair amount of money into the interior. Okay, so we've come that far and we busted our butt on that, but you come outside and you know, we hadn't even started, other than, you know, we got rid of the giant cow hood and the saline whale tail and the Cobra R wheels. We still have a long way to go. And this is what I say when I say people get disheartened when taking on a project car, because you can spend 6 months and, you know, thousands of dollars getting your interior back right and it looks great, and then you come outside and you still got this. I mean, let's look at the reality of this project car. This needs replaced. Quarter glasses need replaced. Everything needs to be repainted. All the molding around the window, the weather stripping needs to be replaced. The interior weather stripping needs to be replaced. It needs tires. Gonna need a bumper cover. You know, it needs a full paint job. So again, guys, when I say be very wary and be prepared if you get into a project car, that it's gonna take a long time, it's gonna take a lot of money, and just yeah, don't quit. All right, boys, so let's talk about 4 to 8 here. 4 to 8, same deal. And this is even more of an extensive build. Everything had to be replaced. Everything in this car came from another car, a V8 car. And so this is even deeper. Not only are we bringing this car back and restoring it, but we're taking what was once a 4-cylinder automatic and making it a V8 5-speed, essentially a 5.0 5-speed Mustang from what once was a 4-cylinder car. And I mean, again, you got to be prepared that this is going to take you a long time. You're going to have, I mean, guys, we've had to trace down nuts, bolts, little washers. I mean, everything, you know, yanking fuel lines out of one car and headlight harnesses out of another, because the 4-cylinder and the V8 headlight harnesses are different based on the alternator. So many little things. And, you know, just like the, you know, the brakes, everything brand new, all the bearings, everything brand new, all the suspension brand new. Had to put quad shocks on it. So again, y'all, be prepared on the front end for a project car. So again, guys, my goal here is in no way to discourage you or, you know, dissuade you from taking on a project car. I mean, that's what we do here, and that's what, you know, we encourage everybody to do, is you know, have fun with their cars on whatever level that might be, whether it's, you know, a full-on build or whatever. But there are a lot of, you know, guys that, again, that I see jump into project cars and then they email me wanting to sell it, and I'm like, so I see this stuff all the time. And, you know, if you're not horribly mechanical, or you don't care to be horribly mechanical, by all means, go buy a newer car that doesn't need a whole lot, bolts and parts on, you know, some easier stuff to do, like, you know, some lowering springs and a tune, cold air intake, something like that, and have fun with it. You know, stuff like this, while it is enjoyable to watch, and I think it's enjoyable to watch, it is a lot of work involved too. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, we do off camera that's, you know, nobody really wants to watch, but in order for us to have that payoff of firing up the car and showing you, you know, us driving it, that stuff has to get done, you know, whether it's wiring it or, you know, laying under it, pulling fuel lines off. There's so many different things that go into it, and the last thing I ever want to do is give off the wrong idea that that it's necessarily always easy. Very, very rarely is it easy. Is it always sexy? No, there's a lot of really crappy parts about doing a project car that aren't fun, but, you know, you have to do them. You know, so I don't want to give you the wrong idea, the wrong impression about a project car and what it really takes to take one from, you know, some of the cars we've seen today to the finish line. All right, guys, so on the other end of that, I always want to tell you the bad news first. On the other end of not wanting to give you the wrong idea, I also encourage you 100%, if you want to do something, to go after it. Go after it. And what I mean by that is, if you want to build something like, you know, we have out here at the shop, try it. You know, commit to it and go do it. I swear to God, I think you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish if you really put your mind to it. You know, don't stress yourself out about getting it done in a certain amount of time. Learn stuff. You know, that's what I see a lot of guys doing, is they'll watch YouTube videos, or, you know, they'll get on different groups on like Facebook, stuff like that, ask questions and kind of, you know, scroll through and watch what other people post up. You know, there's all kinds of answers, people willing to help, you know, answer questions about builds and, you know, how does this work, or how did you accomplish that? What's the best part to use in this scenario? There's all kinds of groups like that on Facebook and stuff like that. YouTube videos, there's tons and tons of tutorials on YouTube to help you do basically anything. And, you know, so on the other side of be prepared for, you know, a rough time, also be prepared for all the stuff you can learn, all the new skills you can learn. And I'm telling you right now, there is nothing more satisfying at the end of the day than having something that you essentially, you know, you built yourself. You know, you touched the bolt, you turned the wrenches, and, you know, all of that's a very satisfying feeling. And, you know, so don't sell yourself short of that. Be prepared to put in the work and do a lot of learning, a lot of reading, a lot of video watching, but at the end of the day, you'll also be very satisfied with what you got. All right, boys, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it, you know, maybe stimulated some thought, gave you some ideas, stuff like that. The car hobby is a lot of fun, and it gets in your blood, and it's very hard to get out. I know very few car guys that just totally got out of them and never went back to them. That's, you know, it's just like any other thing, like Harleys or golfing or any of the other stuff that us guys get into. Once you're in it, and, you know, it's hard to get out of it. So I hope that inspired you. I hope that gave you some ideas. You know, pick your car wisely as far as what you want to do with it. You know, think about you know, what your end goal is with it, what the primary use is going to be, and build it that way, you know, and ultimately build it the way you want it. There's a lot of people out there that'll tell you how you're supposed to do it, and you know, I encourage you to do what you want, build it how you want it, you know. And yes, there's some good advice out there, and there's some bad advice out there too. I encourage you to just, you know, do your due diligence, and, you know, enjoy what you build and make it your own. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, big thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, and we'll be back with more builds to keep you inspired. Later, guys.